Hey, it's Eric, back on the American River Bike Trail. It's early November, and one of those kind of early fall days here when it's kind of interesting. It's a little bit cool this morning. Got down to the kind of upper 40s last night, but it'll be in the 70s later today. So I got wool on right now, and hope I get back home in time before it starts feeling too warm. So anyway, one of the great things about doing my video series was the feedback that I got from riders all over the world, and then of course meeting a lot of you over in France and Rambouillet and elsewhere who had seen the videos. So when I reached out to viewers like you to send in your tips, I had a lot of people say they'd be happy to do that. And one of those people in this episode is Richard Lake. Richard Lake is from the UK, from Lincolnshire, which by the way is right about here. And he was one of the riders who had not done PBP, watched my videos along with many of his other friends in the UK, and ended up having a great ride. So congratulations to you, Richard. And without any further delay, let's get into his video, and then a little wrap up and a little bonus sequence for this edition of the After Party. Here we go.
Hello Eric, hello everyone watching this video. It's great to be involved in your video in this small way, because over the last 12 months or so I've been watching all your videos. Despite it being my very first attempt at PBP, I did actually go ahead with your tip and go for the 84-hour group. As you said, better to ride all day Monday, get a proper night's sleep on the evening times, and I just feel like I can, 300-400 ride distances over those days, and to some extent that paid dividends. But PBP being PBP, nothing always goes to plan as easy as that. I was hoping for a full night's sleep on Sunday evening, which didn't materialise. I was too excited. Set off 5 AM on Monday. Didn't see you, unfortunately. I was going to say hello. I was looking out for you, didn't see you. And that 84-hour ride proved to be about right for me, because I did finish under time, 82 hours and 41 minutes. Still felt a little bit rushed. That's the inexperience of doing PBP for the first time. I wanted to indulge in the culture and meet people and stop at all those stores along the way. And certainly for the first half of the ride, I did indulge in that to a certain extent. So as you can see, autumn, or as you call it over in America, fall, has arrived here in the United Kingdom. It's definitely got cooler in the last couple of weeks. So the trees are starting to turn yellows and browns and reds and all those amazing colours that as cyclists, appreciate at this time of year. In another of Eric's videos, he talked about places to stop at for breaks, for food, to sleep, and one of his tips was to, on the way out, go as far as you can, push as far as you can. He recommended stopping at Loudiac. That was my first goal. Get to Loudiac, keep going, get some sleep there, and which I did. So spot on with that one. I was tired and exhausted, and really pushed myself to the brink to get there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, for the way back, Eric suggested push through to Tonteniac, and unfortunately I was too zonked for that. I just couldn't keep going. It was a different experience on the way back after all the headwind headed out. So yeah, didn't quite do it, but I don't know, that was a goal. You've got to have goals on these things. So that brings me quite nicely onto the subject of weather. Wasn't it cold? Wasn't it windy? Very windy on the way out. So yeah, very windy. Expect the unexpected with PBP and be prepared. And what great preparation I found in Eric's tips was to take extra clothes, extra layers. And boy, did I need those. It really was cold out in northwest France. It really was cold, so I was well prepared. In fact, on a night time, when it got really cold, I was wearing absolutely everything I had on me. So I am 2.5 months later, PBP out of the way. Just done some local roads this Saturday morning. Something I haven't done for a while since I got back, really, to be honest. Lots of commutes to and from work, but never in this part of well, my little place, which is Lincolnshire. And the one thing to know about Lincolnshire is often it is just like this, very, very, very flat. So big thank you to Eric and putting out all those amazing videos. There's some great knowledge there. For the next PBP and the PB after that and years to come, people should go watch it. It's fantastic content, really helped me out, and had a great time watching your channel, Eric. And I'll continue to watch your adventures, of course, over the years to come. So yeah, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
So again, congratulations, Richard, on your ride. So glad you finished and had a great time. I mentioned a little bonus feature. Now, if you recall from my PBP Tips series before the event, I talked about 3 bikes that I was potentially considering to take over there. I did videos on 2 of those. I'm on the 3rd one today. And what I'm riding today is one of 2 Alex Singer bikes that I own. Now this one is a little older than my other one. This was made in 1985 for a Frenchman named, I believe his name was Bournon. And it's set up very much like my other one. Give you a little tour of the bike here in a second. I ended up taking my other Singer over to France simply because it's maybe a little easier to pack, and at that time it had a different generator system on it, which I didn't feel like using for an entire PBP. I'll show you what it has now, and that might have changed that calculation, but at the time the generating system wasn't really where I wanted it to be. It had a bottle generator, a nice modern one from B&M or Bush and Mueller, but still not as nice as a dynamo hub. So here's a quick tour around the bike. So let's take a little trip around the bike. This is a 1985 Alex Singer, came out of the shop there in Levallois in 1985. Originally custom made for a French cyclist. Very traditional setup. You can see at the front, you know, the typical handlebar bag. There's my computer, got a bell on there, of course, for warning other people that I'm coming up. The bike is pretty much original paint, original fenders. You can see the Mayfac brakes there, center pulls with mounts brazed onto the frame. Bag on the back there. One thing I've always found interesting about this bike is that even though it was built for randonneuring, only one water bottle braze on. The other one I had to mount onto the frame with straps. There's the classic Alex Singer decal on the down tube. Very classic Singer lugs with lug lining. Yeah, I think I mentioned this is all the original paint. It's a little beat up, but I don't really mind that. It looks like it's been ridden, which is what the bike is supposed to be. There's the front derailleur, and if you can see there, what they do on these bikes is actually take a bolt-on or clamp-on derailleur, take the front part off, braze on mounts onto the seat tube, and then leave the rear part of the derailleur there. So it's a clamp-on derailleur that is bolted to braze-ons on the frame. Real interesting way of doing it. There's the front end. On the right-hand side there, that's the original light that came with the bike. The mount for the light there is integrated into the front rack. Added the other light myself. That's the Velogical dynamo that I mentioned. Apologize for the wiring here. That's just kind of a proof of concept to make sure everything works. Here's the back end of the bike. There's an additional reflector that I put on there. A couple of things I really like. These are, as I mentioned, the original fenders.
That is the decal for the French Cyclotouring Federation, and below that is the decal for the Cyclists Over 50 Years chapter of that club, which, well, fits me because I'm over 50. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of the bike. Here's back to me on the bike trail.
So I'm riding this bike a lot right now. It's really fun. It rides beautifully, like my other Singer does. And I'll definitely use it on long events in the future. I've taken it on a 400K even before it had the Velogical dynamo on it, and it worked fine. So, hope you enjoyed this after party edition. If you did, please let everyone know by hitting the like button. And if you want to subscribe, get notified about future episodes and other content, go ahead and hit subscribe. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time in the next edition. Bye.